Good evening, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show, the number one spiritual UFO talk show on social media. Good evening, wherever you may be. This is CmdrAleon, your host, contactee, man from Mars, Astar Commander. You name it, on the galactic level, there I am. Good to have you all with us tonight. It's going to be a good night tonight on Encounters. We have no idea what's going to happen because it's always spontaneous. Gary Haas, everybody, Anthony, Bobby. We just posted a really cool video. On our main page where all the videos are. This was from August 19th, 2024. Airline pilots on a commercial airline are going over the Atlantic Ocean, record two objects and report that there were more objects as they were flying over the ocean, 35,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean. You'll have to check out the video. It's on my main page. I just posted it earlier tonight. It's one of the newest pieces of footage of this month from the 19th of August. And that's weird. It says we only have 3 people on here. There's more than 3 people on here. But TikTok says I only have 3 people on here right now. That's pretty weird. Hopefully that will adjust itself. Or maybe I should re-sign on and let's do it all over again. It's staying at number 3. Lavola, good to see you. We're going to restart the live here in a minute, I think. Because the TikTok numbers say there's only 3 people on here. Why was I blocked when I simply said I always thought space people from Mars were called Martians? I don't know who blocked you. I know I didn't block you for saying that. But people from Mars are Martians, so there was no reason to block you. Welcome back, Robert J. I'm not sure what happened, but glad to have you with us. And again, if you were blocked, I don't think it was done on purpose, but I'm glad you're back here. Oh, and now it's saying we have 79. Okay, so the TikTok thing is working. Good, I don't have to restart my TikTok. Hey, man, dude. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're going to have a great show. One of the things we like to do is give you information. Yeah, they probably didn't realize. They might have thought that sometimes, they're not sure how to take things people are saying, but we're glad to have you back. We'll just make sure they don't block you if you say, I always mention the word I'm from Mars, and I've said it numerous times on here. So it says 56. I have 170. It says 117, 120. Now it's going up. TikTok is kind of weird. Sometimes its numbers don't catch up. Lydia, welcome to the show. Everybody coming in here, welcome. Trench 3327. I posted the August 19th video. Thank you very much, Cassie. I recommend everyone look at the video. It's a really good video for sure. And it was from airline pilots going over the Atlantic Ocean. One thing I pride myself in here, hey Bree, is when I put videos up, they're all real. I don't use any CGI. I don't put up fake videos and get imaginative and create all these really fantastic fake-looking videos. People need the truth. I've always been about cosmic truth. And when you're going to put videos up, they better be real. Too many people are getting away with putting these fake videos on TikTok and YouTube. And so some people, they don't know what to look for. They're new at this. So they say, oh, wow, that looks really good. Looks really good. Cheryl says, the doctor told me today I have 1 year and a half to live. Cheryl, you're a beautiful soul. And, while you're here for a year and a half, we're going to hope maybe some miracle happens, We'll hope some miracle happens for you. You're a beautiful soul. And the doctor's telling you have a year and a half. Doctors say things, but things can happen. And then the doctor's going to say, how did you do it? So I want you to believe in yourself, Cheryl, that this can be healed, that things can change and switch around. And, we can pray that that is possible. Sarah Frass, thank you. Tar. So we're going to, knowing where you're at right now with that, we're definitely going to put some light energy to you and hope that, you can be healed, Hey, Brandy, welcome. I left stage 4 cancer. Oh, okay. Let's just hope we can get rid of all that cancer and some like sort of divine intervention helps, Cheryl, come in and just heal your whole body, you know? Roger Briscoe says, God showed me a great stone wall of water, tall buildings falling, many sky machines. Lydia says, we do self-healing. M. Neil says, only God can make the final decision. So I'm sending healing vibes to you, Cheryl. We all are. Jared says, can you try to help her? I can try to help her, but I don't know that I have that kind of that ability. You know, I don't know what I can do to help her. And whatever I am doing, it seems to be pretty, subtle right now. I don't know how to use the energy yet completely. Yeah, I'm still learning. I love to help her, but I don't know exactly if that's going to work or not. And I'm not saying it won't, but I don't know. I've never tried to do that before. Hey, Chesno, good to see you. Yeah, I think if she believes in herself in self-healing, Lydia, I go with that. Caligo Danny, welcome to the show. Hey, brother, good to see you. Hey, Jan, good to see you as well. Everybody's here. I was on this morning for a little 1-hour deal, and I'm on tonight for our 2-hour show. We'll be going on tonight till towards 1. And okay. Thank you for the follow, Daz001. Hey, peace, love, and light to you, Marinee. Hey, Calico, good to see you. We appreciate all the follows, all the likes. And what you see on the top right corner is the numbers of people who are liking the show. So as you come in here, start tapping. I always want to get everybody involved, even if you're not being interviewed. Tap on the screen. You'll start making hearts go up, and that makes the numbers go up on the screen. So every tap creates a higher number. We're going to go for 100,000. Nari, thank you for the heart puff. We appreciate it, Nari. I appreciate your gift. And let me just also make sure that we are set up and pinning the hat. So we are pinning the hat with the mustache. That's my favorite one, the hat with the mustache. So always, Bird Love Diane R. Welcome to the show. Everybody, Johnny, Tahar, Eternal Bliss. Man, that was a good one. I like your Sunday show and music. Thank you, Charlotte. I appreciate that very much. Such a fresh start to you. So when I get a mustache, I say the word Tahar, which is actually something that is grown in space on our Ashtar command ships. I'm randomly on in the morning. You never know when I'm going to be on. Sometimes I will try to get on if I have time. I'll get on in the morning before 9 and do like a 1-hour deal. But sometimes I do. Hey, Paula, welcome to the show. And NJ, welcome. Good to see you. Richard Stevens, everybody out there, wherever you may be. Plan Bia. Aaron, welcome to the show. Aaron. Gerald, welcome. You. Hey, you. How are you doing? Junior Stock. I think Stock something. Hey, Carrie79. Carrie79, we know who you are. Hope you're having a good evening. And we're just getting started, folks. Gen X 62. Good to see you. And then, we're just getting started, so we haven't really begun to get into anything yet. It's only about 11:10 p.m. But we are here with the latest spaceship video footage. Blessed Mom, thanks for the heart puff. And when you get a chance, folks, the new video from the airline pilots from August 19th is incredible. It's a great video. I didn't put any music behind it. I want you to hear the pilots talking on the radio, on the airline jet, and the footage they recorded. It's pretty impressive. And it's real. Because you want real stuff. I want real stuff. I don't want to look at CGI. Hey, Johnny, good to see you. One thing I do know over the years of doing video and looking at video on YouTube and everything, I can actually pull out CGI videos on TikTok and YouTube. I can pull out real footage like in 2 seconds. GM 585, not one legit HD video ever. I don't know about HD, but I would say there are many legit videos, and I've got many legit videos. Matter of fact, all my videos are all real on my channel here on TikTok. Every video. All the videos are. Linda. Hey, UK. Good to have you with us, Rick, welcome. Jen. Tangy Clifton. Mike App. James Brady, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Naomi, welcome to the show. We're doing good, Marlene. Hope you are too. Joni M. Parks. Hey, Jen, thank you for the heart me. Yes, definitely join the team. Join the team. That's what I always say. Join our team. Thank you, Linda Lou. I'm glad you love the things we're doing and all the stuff we have. Mama Susie. Mrs. Nordu. Sheila Lowry. Rocket Man. Eyes in the Sky. It's a good name. You know, there's a lot of people that are recording some really decent video footage. If Jay Niner comes on tonight, I'm going to have her on the show. She just recorded some incredible and took some really incredible photos. She's having visual contact constantly. And I'm hoping Jay Niner's in here tonight. We're going to bring her on. She couldn't come on this morning, but she's on tonight. We're going to have her on as one of our first guests, and hopefully without any problems. Why is it that everybody thinks I look like Adam Sandler? You know, Adam Sandler has a lot of money. I don't know why that is. People think I look like Adam Sandler. Thank you for the love for peace. Thank you for the heart me. Really? You mean I'm a lookalike? You mean I can actually look like him? I can be like a sit-in on one of his movies, maybe? Oh, of course, the hair. Okay. Oh, maybe he's a cousin, but I never, you know. Hey, Adam, I'm CmdrAleon from Mars. Maybe we're related. You what? Yeah, I'm from Mars. I'm your older brother from Mars, but you never knew me because we never met. Who knows? We know we're going to have a good show tonight. Maybe slightly look like him. Yes, a cousin. Now, I don't want the rumors going around that I'm the cousin of Adam Sandler, because then everyone's going to be coming for an autograph, and I'm going to have to hide somewhere up in the mountain. I'm going to have to disappear for a while. You see? Just by people putting rumors out there that I look like Adam Sandler, I could end up becoming famous in a Hollywood movie. I'm just kidding. I don't think that's happening. But I love you all, you know. One time, somebody thought I looked like Bob Dylan. You know, matter of fact, in my college days in Vermont, we did a video. I wore sunglasses. My hair was like a little bit different. And I did a Bob Dylan song, and I had a guitar, and we were video recording me doing Dylan. The video went pirating somewhere back in the 70s, and we never found it again. So I did do my Dylan interpretation. Like, before I get really started, I will do a Dylan thing for you. It's not something I usually do on the show, but since, we're talking about lookalikes. So here's my Dylan impression. I ain't gonna live on Maggie's farm no more. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'll do that again. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Okay, that's my Dylan, okay? That's as much Dylan as you're gonna get here on Encounters. Take it while you can get it, folks. Thank you. Yep. I know that Adam Sandler could not do a Bob Dylan impression, but I could. Thank you, Johnny. So we'll get into some serious stuff tonight. You folks are all beautiful. My show is kind of different than other UFO nuts and bolts shows. We go into the cosmic, galactic, spiritual areas of the whole subject. Good evening from Pittsburgh. Good to see you. And all the new people, if you're new here, welcome to the show. We always welcome everybody. Unlike some places, we welcome our guests. We welcome the people that are here. Oh, wait a minute. I got to turn the music off. There's music going on. The Alexa app just started playing music. Hold on a minute, folks. Stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa's playing some pop artist, and I didn't even say anything. I just turned the Alexa off. I'm not going to say that word because she's listening, probably in the other room. Welcome, everybody, to Encounters. Thank you, Lynn, for the roses. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it so much. Love and light to you, Joey. Glad to have you with us. Astral Pilot, welcome. Summer, all the people coming in here, welcome to the show. You're watching Encounters. Just for new people, I'm a contactee from the 60s. I don't know who it was. I just told it to turn it off because I didn't want to hear it. It started playing the music. But I'm a contactee for new people. Yeah, she started playing. It does that because I'm close to the other room, and I sometimes unplug it just so it does. It's very sensitive, So sometimes we'll pick my voice up. Debbie Tahar, Paula R, thank you so much. No, it was a guy singing. It was some well-known artist. I don't remember who it was. It wasn't my type of music anyway. But all is good in the world of encounters, and we're going to interview some people. So one of the questions I ask if you're new here is if you've ever had an encounter or visitation, or you are having a visitation of beings from another world, space people, let me know. If you're new to my show, I am a contactee, so the one beautiful thing is I'm not just the host of a talk show. I will actually give you a chance to share your encounters with visitations with space people, and I will not put you down, okay? Odin says, I have EVP, and I won't put you down. Like I said, if you are having visitations for a couple of years, you're just starting to get visits from space people or star people, I would love to hear your story. I'm talking about physical contact. Some people are having contact in the dream state. We call it a cosmic dream. So if you have a cosmic dream, that's not really so much a dream as it is a reality that you are actually having contact with star people. And many of you are. I know this to be true. I mean, I don't know who you are out there, but I read energy on my lives, and out of 197 people, I know some of you are having direct contact, aren't you? I know some of you are. I say, how does he know that? Because I do. We have 200 people on here. There's no way there's not people on here that are having contact. I know you are. So I want to be able to invite you on here. If you have 50 more people, you come on live on audio. If you have, I think, over 800, I think it's still 800, you can come on live on video. One of the things I do in my rules of protocol for interviewing is you have to be over 18, no kids on the show, no vaping, no smoking, no drugs, no drinking, no cursing, no paranormal discussion. We keep it really tuned into the cosmic. And that's the beautiful part about this show. I'm on radio. I'm on radio Sunday mornings on NPR Radio, WESU, with the Cosmic Eye Show, 11:30 Eastern. So I've been a talk show host for 21 years on radio. I've been on radio since the 1970s back in Vermont. And I've been doing this kind of stuff on radio for 21 years. Let's see here. So who wants to come out of the closet and tell me about their story? Who wants to share a story? Okay, Odin. We'll start with Odin. And then any other people, please tell me that you want to be part of, get in the queue, go in the guest queue. And Soultrue also did too. So let me see what I'm going to do here. I'm very random about this. I'm going to be very random in my consciousness of who I'm picking. So it's not going to be I'm going to go with Soultrue first, and then Odin, you'll be the second person I'll bring up here. Soultrue, I'm going to follow you, and you are our first guest, and Odin, you're our second guest. So we're going to bring up Soultrue. Just accept my request to have you on here. If you know how to do that, just press the guest button. There's a guest button for becoming a guest on the show. And I Soultrue on encounters.
And I'm not going to leave the dark. I'm beat.
Okay, Soultrue, good evening and welcome to the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. This is Encounters. I'm CmdrAleon, your host, and welcome to the show. They're not coming on? Okay. Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can definitely hear you. Where are you located?
In Washington.
Okay, state of Washington. Okay.
Yes.
And okay, great. And can you give some background? I'm always interested what you're going to talk about in terms of visitation or contact. Give us some context for our viewers as to what happened.
Okay. Well, I have like at least 3 encounters, but I'm probably just gonna. I mean, you mean, and you're not me, because I've witnessed spaceships actually twice in okay. And then another one is that my daughter. Okay, let me just tell you this one first. Physical through my daughter first.
Right. Okay.
Oh God, I shouldn't tell that one. I can't tell that one. Okay, wait. Let me tell the other really quick. Okay.
Well, tell the ones you can tell
There's
first.
this one. Okay, there's this one. Okay, and someone could see it as a spiritual or they could see it as an alien. But me and my daughter both definitely resonated with it as an alien. This happened years ago. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. And me and my daughter, a lot of times she was like, slept in bed with me because we only had one bed. I was a single mother, and we woke up in the middle of the night one night. It was so weird. Like at the exact same time. Okay, and there was like it was dark in the room, but we had like a night light on, and so there's just a light in the room like we kept on. And when we woke up, we just both remember waking up at the same time. It was really weird. I remember I woke up and she woke up at the same time. I looked over at her like right after she woke up or something. Like it was instinctive. Like we were both pulled out at the same time. It's really weird, right that way.
Wow.
And we looked. That was strange because it was. We were not sleeping. We both know that. All this we discussed after the whole thing, which confirmed everything with each other. So. We woke up right then, and at that very same moment, it's just so scary. I get actually scared.
Oh, wow.
I'm not scared of aliens at all, but this one was a scary entity.
Well, you know, there aren't any aliens. That's just an Earth-based media term, but there are extraterrestrials. So so we'll just switch the terminology.
Yes,
Go ahead.
this one. Yes, and this one was. But see, usually I don't see it at most extraterrestrials as scary or anything. It's quite the opposite of me. But this one, that's what I'm going to tell you. This one first. But yeah, so we both looked up at this, and we clearly saw, and we both in our brains saw it as what we described as a snake alien. That's what we both thought it was. Yeah, it was really weird. Like I was thinking it. And later on, we find out we didn't say anything. Neither one of us spoke. It was like we were completely silent. I mean, almost like as if it literally. I mean, I'm not saying it had a control over us. We just were like in total shock, like you would, And so we didn't say anything because it was just all a feeling. And we both looked up at the thing. We saw this thing, which we later both described to each other how it looked, and that's why this is so trippy, because we both described it. We both visually saw exactly how it looked, and we described it back and forth to each other. And we both saw it as a snake alien. We both literally actually even said snake alien.
When you say for our viewers the word snake alien encounters, can you describe what you're meaning? Does it look like a snake?
It did. I wish I could show you. Yeah. It was not like a regular snake. But that's why I did regular. It wasn't like a snake. When you look at it, you didn't see a snake. It was like it came into view really clear, and it just got like through the ceiling.
Through the ceiling.
And it had colors to us. Yeah, we were looking right above into the ceiling, and it was coming out. And it was kind of, there's some green luminescence to it. And then it had definition with a big snake. It was like a large round head, but it was, and it had a kind of like maybe more of like a larvae body.
Really?
Not like a snake, weird. But it was more, it just resonated like a snake to us. Yeah. And it had this bulby thing. I mean, but and eyes, big eyes, almost like an insect. But then it was had. And then it was kind of scary. There's some things that were scary. I can't really go back and describe it because actually it's kind of
Right,
scary.
right.
Something that came outward and that had, I don't feel like it had like teeth or it was scary. In other words, it
It's
was not
scary, yeah.
friendly. And it
It
literally
wasn't friendly.
started, no, it was scary. So it was literally coming down. And I immediately felt, I knew like, oh my, it's trying to kill us, right? It was weird. And when oh yeah, that's the thing. So my daughter actually woke up like a shade before I did. So we both woke up at the same time and it all happened pretty
Right.
quick, but it also felt in slow motion
Now,
because
was it happening? Was it happening when you were awake or when you were asleep?
we were awake. We both
You were
were
wide awake.
We woke up, yeah, because
Okay,
I
folks.
was consciously
Yeah.
was aware that we woke up, and we were in the room. Both of us we were awake. And the thing is that's why when I described it, it seemed more slow. But what happened
Right.
was that it's like when I realized that the thing was coming at us, I was like a defense for my daughter. Like my instinct was,
Right.
it's gonna kill. Wants to come and get us right now. And so me waking up actually startled it. So I didn't get to see it for very long, but it was very clear. And like I said, came out like slow motion, but yet I know it all happened super fast. I don't know how I know all this, but
So,
I did.
okay, let me ask you a question. How long? One person in the audience says the question is not if you were awake, but how long were you awake? That's a good question. How long
Well,
were you awake when this was
we
going on?
don't know. We didn't have a clock, and I mean, we can always. That's the thing. We very well could have been in another dimension or something. I don't know what happened.
You have
We
no
were
idea.
awake. It was real, but yeah, I have
No,
no
I
idea.
believe you.
You know how like when people go through trauma or any kind of thing, like it feels like it's slow motion. They don't know how actual long time was unless an ambulance says you were only, knocked out for
Right.
this time. So it was like that, and so I was just like, but I mean, if I was gonna guess, I feel like the whole thing was about 30 seconds. That's what I feel.
Okay. So this thing, this ET
It was
blob
coming
of
out,
whatever
of it.
came through your roof. Are you
Yeah, and it
actually
was
saying?
coming through. It was like, just emanating through, and it was coming out, and you could see it start to come out like a 3D. And
where you were though physically located? Were you in a suburban area, a rural
we
area?
were
Where
in
were you located?
Nebraska. We lived in
In
Nebraska.
Nebraska. And in Nebraska, where you were when this happened, was it out in the country or out more in the
No.
city area?
We were in a city. We were downtown city, but it's just like a little neighborhood off the city. It's not like big city.
Interesting. Yeah. No, but this thing
You
came
know.
through the roof.
There are
Came through the
crop circles
ceiling.
there. Yeah. But and so it was coming through, and I just immediately, my mother instinct, or the psychic, because I feel like me and my daughter were like on the exact psychic plane at the exact same thing of everything going on. And I overpowered it or something in my thinking, my energy, because when I realized it was going to hurt us, my energy immediately wanted it to go immediately, to not kill my daughter and me. I thought about my daughter first.
Right.
They knew it was going to get us both.
So how did you deal?
It went away. Then it went away.
It disappeared.
I saw it for a while. It was very imminent, and I felt the feeling and everything of it. And then it just went away. It just instantly swooped out. And me and my daughter, right after that, looked at each other and we're like, "Oh my God!" And we could not sleep in the room. We had to leave. We couldn't. In fact, I took her. I'm like, "We're going to sleep in the living room," and went in the living room. And we didn't sleep in the room for a week, because everything before that was everything fine, but that creeped us out because but after a week it was fine.
Let me ask you a question here, and this is CmdrAleon, the host of the show Encounters. So what do you think precipitated that ET to come to where you were? Can you tell us?
I have no idea. I have no
idea.
Well, I mean, I don't have any idea. But I will say that my daughter did say to me oh God. I witnessed two spaceships had come through my life. I mean, I realized it wasn't spaceships, but I had known, like before I had my daughter, that I had seen, I saw, I knew how they came because it showed like a star. I could go into a description real quick, but I'm not. Two different times I've realized that I saw it. And I actually videotaped it I came out and had people that were from the military. I came back out and says, "Come out, you guys got to look at this. You guys got to look at this." And everybody was, insisting, like all in denial that it was plane. I mean, they're from the military. They know it wasn't.
Okay, wait a minute. So let me slow you down. What year was this, and what people in the military came out? Did they come out and see the sighting when you saw it?
Well, I came outside just sitting out on the picnic table. They were like, it was like a party, the weekend, family,
Yeah,
friend party, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they were in there, and I just came outside and sat on the picnic table, and I looked up at the sky, and I noticed this huge, beautiful star. That's what I thought it was. It was just beautiful, bigger, a real big star. And so I didn't think nothing of it. I thought, wow, what a beautiful star. That's the only thing I could see in the sky was that beautiful star. And then I just sat there, and I was just thinking, do whatever at the picnic table by myself. And out the side of my eye, I saw the star move. And it I didn't think about it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden my brain registered, stars don't move. It like was at the star at the side of my eye, and it moved. And so I looked back, and then it didn't look like it was moving. And then relaxed and looked the other way. I thought I might have imagined it, and then I saw it again outside. I might do it again, and it was clearly in a different spot. And then I realized that it really did move. And then I looked at it, and then it literally moved in front of me. It literally visually moved around like a circular, like it's going around like if you looked at the sphere of the world, it's going around above. So and it was going pretty slow. So then it knew that I saw what I don't know. It was really weird, and I knew that it's not a star because I'm like, stars do not do this. It makes
Right.
no noise, and it did that, and then it went the other way, and then it zoomed straight to the moon. It zoomed at height. I was instantly went to the moon, up straight to the moon. I mean, I don't know if it landed on the moon, whatever, but that's what it did. But before all that, I had them come out and videotape it because I knew it was something very unique, and they were all in denial and like, oh, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Obviously, none of that. Well, anyway, later that next day, they had some other sightings. There had been sightings, and they had called, and it was on the news. And so there was somebody else that had said they saw it on the news in that same area, right? And but they didn't have it.
Okay, see, we need you to slow down just a little bit. People, they can't quite understand you're going, and you might be a little bit nervous. Take a deep breath.
I get excited.
Okay, I'm gonna slow. The commander's gonna slow you down. I'll do this really beautiful. So I want you to close your eyes for a minute. We're gonna get you calmed down here. Okay.
Okay.
So take a deep breath. Close your eyes.
Okay.
I want you to breathe in and breathe out of your nostrils. You're going to do this a couple of times. Breathe in, breathe out. Like that. Breathe in, relax, 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 relax. Just listen to my words. Relax. Everyone's going to listen to your story. I just want you to relax. Don't be nervous. You got to relax. Just let yourself relax.
Right. Okay.
Relax. Okay. And as you slow your words down, take it easy. This is not. We're not on a subway trying to get to New York. So.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, I want you to relax, slow down your tempo of your words, because you have a real story here, and I want people to catch each part of it. But you're going so fast, they can't keep up with it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta slow down.
Okay.
All right.
Let me just tell you then. So, I told you about how it looked physically to me at that moment, but before it zoomed up, what had happened, like I said, I pulled the other people out to show them and told them to bring the video camera. We had a video camera at the time, and so I videotaped anyway. And they just were all in denial that it was all this stuff. I knew it wasn't. And then they went back in, and we all knew it was really trippy, and everybody agreed they never seen such a thing, didn't know what it was. And then so later I found out the next day that there was another sighting, and then they showed I feel like they didn't show it. They only talked about it, and they showed the sky. They never really showed a video of it, but they made it clear. So then I said, well, wow, I got a video of it. And I realized I needed to call and tell the news. At least I thought I should. I shouldn't have, probably. Because then I called the news and told them, and they immediately asked for my address. This is the trippy part. They immediately asked for my address and my phone number, and they wanted to get back in contact with me. Well, they never got in contact with me, but all of a sudden the tape came missing. That's too weird. I don't want to get on.
No, let me explain something. So the tape you recorded, was it in your house? That the one you recorded, the tape of the spaceship?
Yes, and actually, yes, it was.
And then and when did it go missing? After you contacted the news station?
And that's the thing. Okay, it didn't. I think what it was, I thought it was missing at first, but I couldn't
Okay.
find it. But then when we found it, okay,
Oh, you did find it.
I found it. We found it again, but it wasn't where I thought it was, and so I didn't know where it was, and they never called back. Then I found it, and when I went to play it, that part of the tape didn't exist. It had been erased.
So did the tape originally, before you can find it, was the tape fully showing the spaceship?
It showed this what was a star, the whole thing. It was a star.
Well, it showed the star moving.
Yeah, it
so
showed
it showed the moving star. But when you found the tape later on, how many days later did you find the tape?
Like that week. It was that same week because I was
Same week.
Yeah.
So when you got the tape back, where was the tape? In the house somewhere?
It was like in the living room where it wasn't that I thought I left it, and I should have found it way before then.
Right. So when you found the tape, for my viewers out here, she finds the tape. Excuse me. And on the tape, the part where there's this moving star that you wanted to have the TV station look at it's wiped out. The part that shows what it is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. And our other family stuff, that's what was nice, because our family stuff was still there, but that part was missing.
Yeah.
And
so what do you think So what do you think, in your opinion, happened to the tape?
Well, obviously what's weird and creepy, you don't even want to think about that they somehow got into our house and found it and did that and then replaced it. That's all I could think of. Or
I'm not going to speculate on anything here, but so now what year was this? Just so my viewers have an indication of what year we're talking about.
That was before my daughter was born. I'm trying to think if I was pregnant right there. I believe yes. That's the key. I was pregnant at the time with my daughter.
What year was that?
That was 91.
91. Okay, so we're now in 2024. Since 1991, have you had any other encounters?
And then the other one was that same after she was born. Then there was another one out on the water when we were camping in Oregon. And see, that was in Oregon. I didn't tell you about that one. That was Oregon. The space alien one I told you about first was in Nebraska, but the so that's after we saw this first thing.
Right.
The first thing about the space, the star and everything, that was Oregon. So we lived in Oregon at the time. And that's where I saw that, in Oregon. And there's a lot of sightings. There's a lot of sightings in Oregon stuff. And so the second one was I'm sorry, I'm talking fast again, but the second one was
try to take it slow. I know you're excited. Go ahead.
I was on the boat and I was with my daughter. We were on the lake with a friend of mine's and their husband and a friend of mine and my daughter and me on a boat in the lake. We went camping, and it was at night. And because I knew that it looked like a star before. Of course, ever since then, I always I saw the sky differently, and I knew for sure that it existed, because I'm like, I don't care if other people don't believe whatever, because I didn't believe one way or the other before I saw it. I thought there's a good chance they'd be real, good chance that they're not. Right. Well, after I saw that, I knew for a fact, and so it didn't matter who believed me. I knew for a fact that was not normal, and I know exactly what I saw. And I really feel like they were disguising themselves as stars. Is that how it came? Because it wasn't a star. They used whatever they were using. It was but it was not a star. And so I knew that at the time. And so I always kind of looked, forward in the sky, but I didn't look too much, because I'm like, don't worry about it. If you're meant to see, you'll see it again. If not, you're going to think every star is it. And so I didn't try to focus on it. But then that's why I knew when I was at the lake, we were there, and there were back that time there was a few other stars out, but there was a brighter star. It was the brightest star, and I did notice it right off the bat, because I saw it before, and I knew that, oh wow, is it maybe another one? Because that was the brightest place. Right. And sure enough, it did the same thing. It did the same thing.
It started moving, yeah. So you'll know it's a spaceship when it starts moving and it's not looking like a star anymore. I've seen those before over the years. So they're really far away out in the atmosphere, but they're bright enough. When they move, you'll notice it. You will.
Yeah, well, clearly. Yeah. And so it was there, and it was it let me, I was looking at it because it doesn't want to. I mean, not everybody. It doesn't want to see it. Like that's why it just sits still. So
Now, have you had any, and this is one of the things, if you're new to my show, I work with the Ashtar Command. I'm from off planet. I'm from Mars originally, which has 10 to 15 million inhabitants. I work, before I came here, I volunteered to come to Earth as a human being. I came here and I'm fully conscious and everything. People that watch my show since last year, I'm able to do certain things now that I wasn't able to do then. But I also help people. So when you talked about that blob thing coming into the room, have you had any problems since 91?
no, nothing with that at all. No,
Okay.
nothing more of that.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, and
But
then the
no, yeah.
star ones, I felt very comforted by them.
Yeah, those are probably positive beings on spaceships all the way out there that you're picking up the vibes of.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll know if you feel positive vibes. You'll know if you feel negative vibes. You'll know that right away. Hey, Soultrue, I want to thank you for being here as our first guest and sharing some of your stories out there. And everyone, I want to thank her for being here. This show is being recorded. All my shows are on YouTube, Ashtar Command Spaceship News, so you can watch all our previous shows on YouTube if you miss anything.
Okay, thank you so much.
Most definitely. Thank you, Soultrue. We're glad to have you with us.
It's the first time I've ever been on a live.
I'm glad, and it's always get people for the first time here. So I'm really grateful that you decided to come on my show. And this is a regular show. We do this at 11 o'clock at night. Once in a while, I take a night off. But we're glad you came on the most popular spiritual UFO talk show on social media. Glad to have you with us, Soul.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. We're going to bring you down. And I'm very random. So if you're having direct contact with space people, you can't force me to let you in. I will randomly pick people. Since I run the show, I will make that decision. You have to tell me a little bit about what you on the comment sections want to share. You have to be over 18, number one. No kids on the show, no smoking, no vaping, no drugs, no drinking, no foul language or cursing, no paranormal discussion. All that stuff is out the window. I'm going to bring in Odin. I promised Odin next. And we're going to bring Odin up if we can do it. Odin has 36 followers. Let me see what happens here. Well, it says, well, you usually have to have 50. Let's see if this is going to work. And if it does, I'll be very surprised. And it seems to be working at 36 followers. But TikTok is really weird. Odin, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us.
Hey, how are you?
We're good. And tell us where you're located, Odin.
I'm currently living in Tennessee.
Ah, good. We've had
originally
from Tennessee.
Originally from New Jersey, and that's where my story starts. I've been having experiences and contact with extraterrestrials since I was a child. My first one was actually when I was 6 years old.
Wow.
So just a little backstory. I'm adopted, and my mother was also adopted. So my family tree is pretty empty as far as like what I actually know about my lineage. But one of my adopted grandparents, my grandfather, lived on top of Mount Tremper in upstate New York in the Catskill Mountains, which we know has a lot of activity. I actually just published a book a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying to reach out to Whitley Strieber and Billy Carson because I've got a whole big can of worms to share.
Well, you can share those cans of worms on the most popular UFO
Actually, I was just gonna say, like, the universe, I believe, brought me to you tonight because I was just up here trying to think about how to get my message out because I feel like there's something blocking me from getting my message out.
Well, I'm not here. Here, I'm a contactee, so
yeah. Go ahead. So I was at a family party on top of Mount Tremper. My adopted grandfather, owned this property. It was next to a monastery. You can look it up online. Mount Tremper, New York, Catskill Mountains Monastery. My grandfather's name was Getchell Brewster Cole. It was never clear what he did for work. He had a lot of money. He had an observatory on top of his roof in Woodstock, New York, and he knew a lot of well-off people. He was well-respected. And this one house party, out of nowhere, a squall comes in. And a tornado comes. It lands pretty much right on the party itself. The tent gets blown away, and night seems to overtake what was a few moments ago afternoon. Music was playing. There was over 100 people out in this garden party on top of this mountain. Pretty remote area, right on top of Mount Tremper. And next thing I know, I'm in the dark. Now, I'm 6 years old. I don't really have the wherewithal to be understanding what had just happened besides scary storm, where am I?
Yeah.
And I'm on my back. I know this much. I'm dizzy. I've got brain fog. Like, I can't explain anything besides brain fog. That's what the memory is. And there was beings above me. All I remember is these big, black, glassy eyes. And they didn't seem evil. They didn't seem scary. I wasn't scared. They didn't talk to me. But I could hear.
They, do you know?
I mean, they towered over me because I was laying down.
Okay.
And it was still kind of dark. All I could see was lights around the perimeter. I believe I was in a circular room. I mean, from what I'm describing, it's like an examination room, but it didn't feel like there was anything necessarily bad to be done or being done to me. No, I wasn't on drugs, Swollen. I was 6 years old at a family party.
So basically, Odin, so and I have to go by what you say, because I know when I was a contactee in the 60s, I went up to my brother's room. The spaceship was in a cul-de-sac in Long Island, and I live in New England most of my life, but I went up for no reason. They were downstairs. I went upstairs, and I opened my brother's blinds, and there were men and women in light blue spacesuits that are tall, very beautiful, and they said I wasn't from here. That was the only physical time I've seen space people my whole life. I mean, maybe I can't remember other times since now, and since up until 2024. If I did, I don't remember. But
I have
so
more.
I can relate to what you're saying. But go ahead.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. So it was a brief experience. Like, what I know now, it might have been an hour up there. It felt benevolent. It felt like I was being transmitted a message, or something was being put into my body. I actually still have in my left earlobe, you can feel it. There's a little ring in there, a circular ring, and when I try and grab it or dig it out, I've tried to for years, it moves.
It's like a living implant, correct?
Yeah. And it's been there for a long time. I didn't learn about Whitley Strieber up until a few years ago, and I realized that
I don't trust. Don't get in touch with Whitley Strieber.
Okay.
Strieber.
Okay. See, here's the thing. I don't know who to trust and who not to trust. So anyway,
I'll help you out there. But go ahead, tell your story. But don't get in touch with Whitley.
I wake up in the middle of the night in the woods, and I'm with a few other kids. Right. We didn't know where we were. We get taken away by people. We don't know who they were. My memory's foggy for a little bit after that, but it turns out my grandpa, Getchell Brewster Cole, actually worked for a government agency. And after this trauma, me and these kids they started bringing us to these different places. We'd get blindfolded, put in the back of cars, and brought to these places. One of these places in particular is in New Jersey. It's called Picatinny Arsenal. And it's an underground military testing facility. And they used to bring me and some other traumatized children there, and they'd bring us into these underground facilities, and they'd give us drugs. LSD, mushrooms. It's kind of like Stranger Things and the, what's the one that happened? The Montauk Projects. This happened in the mid-90s.
Let me tell you, before you get into further, and we're going to let you tell your story, I interviewed the people in the Montauk Project when I had my TV show, and I went out to Montauk. We went out to this person who was part of the project. He had a sign. He was working with the NSA. My viewers probably will know this. I know a lot of things here. The Montauk Project, which was operational, we went to this person's house. They had VHS. This is before all the TikTok and all this stuff. He showed us videos of them inside the buildings where the Montauk Project was before it was fenced off. They went in there. There were new telephone wires going below ground. Now, why would an empty base have brand new telephone wires going underground? The reason? They moved all the operations beneath the Air Force Base in Montauk. That base is still operational.
There's underground passages between bases all over the U.S.
Oh yeah, that base is
There,
operational.
there's a whole network below ground of
Oh
these
yes,
top
there
secret
is. I agree
bases.
with you.
There's stuff that happens underwater in the oceans. There's stuff that, like, we're not even close to knowing anywhere close to the truth.
But I want to get back to you. So what made me think about Montauk when you mentioned it? You were taken into a facility. Where was this?
It was in, so it's in Roxbury, Mine Hill, New Jersey. So Picatinny Arsenal in Mine Hill, New Jersey. The history of Mine Hill, New Jersey is in the 1800s. It was a Victorian mining settlement. And eventually it was discovered that there was plutonium and uranium in Mine Hill. And that's when the government came in. And the government came in and there's a quarry there and they fenced it off and they put in an underground testing facility. You can look it up online. It's
Now, when you say underground testing facility, is it similar to what happened at Montauk back in the 1970s and 60s?
This is actually much larger. They do legitimate weapons testing, and they have a huge network, global network. They sell weapons that they test there, but they also do. Yeah, so that's their main. It's a giant military complex, Picatinny Arsenal.
Really,
right in New Jersey. And actually, if you check out in the past year, the seismic activity around that area has been off the charts, and there's no plates there. There's no plate divisions there.
Are there people living around that facility that have homes?
Oh yeah. Really? It's been around since Victorian ages. So we're talking about settlement agents. Nobody asks questions because it's just a part of since the town's been around.
And what part of New Jersey is this? Northern New Jersey?
Yep, Northwest.
Yeah, so D was asking. D in the audience was asking that.
Oh yeah,
Northwest.
D. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat now. Yeah, it's in Northwest Jersey, Mine Hill, Picatinny, Picattany, I believe it is. It's no secret that they're top secret, and they do all sorts of crazy stuff there. I've had friends that work there on IT projects. I'm an IT architect and engineer, cloud developer, and whatnot.
Wow.
I'm also a sculptor on the side. I make jewelry. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit past when I was 6 because that was the most significant. Yeah, I want to get back on track to the extraterrestrial stuff.
Yeah, let's do that.
But keep in mind, Getchell Brewster Cole worked for a government agency, and I was tested in underground facilities.
That's crazy. Go ahead.
So, for a long time in my teens, I was handled by a family who adopted me, and they were a bad family. They abused me to keep my trauma hidden. And so eventually I got out of this bad experience, Picatinny Arsenal, it's Morris County, New Jersey, correct? Wharton, Mine Hill, they're all right next to each other. It's all kind of the same thing. So I was an alcoholic for about 20 years because of my trauma, right? 3 years ago, pandemic started, I quit drinking and I started sculpting. The first thing I sculpted was a giant portal surrounded by sigils, controlled by an organ with a big alien coming out of it that was probably about the size of me, made of all sorts of teeth from different animals and a shark jaw and claws, and I'd never sculpted a day in my life.
Yeah.
I'd never sculpted a day in my life.
And that was a sculpture, correct?
Yep, this was made out of clay and wood, and the monster part was made out of clay. And the rest of it was animal parts and stuff, and then the big part of it was an organ that I made as if it was a lab, an organ controlling the portal. And the sigils around it I had never seen before either. It's actually on my Instagram, Outer Void Labs. I was recording because it was sort of a psychological Sherlock Holmes experience for me when I had this awakening, because I started I went missing. I was in and out of psych wards as I started waking up from all this stuff. And then
wait a minute. Let me slow you down. Did you physically go into psych wards and so forth?
No, just this past November.
Really? Well, how did you end up doing that?
My family was gaslighting me, and I started having all these memories and dreams. I met animal parts like claws and bones and stuff that I got on Etsy. But yeah, I started sculpting all these things and going to these conventions that I felt drawn to, and they were very witchy conventions. And when I brought the portal to this oddity fair market in Wilkes-Barre, PA, the oddity fair market was in the parking lot of a government facility, and I put up this portal with an alien, and the first thing that happened was an old man came by in black sunglasses and like it looked like obligatory grandpa vacation clothes, like Hawaiian shirt, shorts, whatnot. He leaned in, looked at my portal, and said "Men in Black," and then he walked away.
Huh. Did you find that kind of strange?
I did, because I brought this portal and he looked at me in a threatening way, because now I'm having these memories of these portals that I've seen before, and memories that I've been in a government testing facility, and memories of being abducted. And I'm out here like putting it all out there, like, hey, somebody help me, look at this stuff I'm remembering and bringing around.
So
And
let me
since
ask you a
then I've been
question.
making, yeah.
Yes, so I'm going to listen to your story, but you're going to learn a few things about the commander. So I work with the Christed beings of light of the Ashtar Command. My father, my mother, with 2 sisters and brother on a spaceship right now. I'll be going off planet in a couple of months. Some big stuff's happening that you don't know about yet, but I get the feeling that you've had these different encounters. Now, how many encounters have you had with the extraterrestrial people or beings?
Oh, throughout my life, dozens. The past 3 years, it's been multiple times a week.
Okay, so let me ask you about the last 3 years. Can you tell us what types of beings you're interacting with, or you're just interacting with everything, negative, positive, in between? What's going on?
Everything. So I've had
Everything.
benevolent, I've had malicious, I have malicious EVP. The EVP I mentioned in the chat earlier, it happened about 4:30 in the morning, and it's when I was doing a bunch of sleep study, because I noticed a bunch of weird stuff that started happening to me, and I'm a very scientific, logical person. Like I said, I've built global networks for Novartis and Reckitt Benckiser and blah, like I'm a programmer, blah, blah, blah. So all this other stuff that's been happening over the past couple of years has been phenomenal. And like out of this world extraordinary. And when I start looking back to the dreams and memories and past life experiences and my lack of lineage, and if you look at my DNA lineage, and once I start reading the Emerald tablets as well, and that's another story. But anyway, so multiple times, the malicious one that happened at 4:30 in the morning, I was, at this point, I had video cameras on me. I had high sensitivity audio recorder outside of computer, like just audio, set next to me. So I was covered on all angles. I made sure there was nothing to interfere, like cell phones off. I'm in a basement, no routers, nothing near me. 4:30 in the morning, my stepmom comes downstairs, opens the fridge, and goes back upstairs. I do my normal checking of I don't think we go live until we have 800 viewers.
Yeah,
Stranger
you
Bet.
gotta have he has to have 800, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would
yet.
go on otherwise, because I have 7 scars on my head and a Y on my head that you can see as well, and I can show you stigmata too. That's another story. But you can see my videos. My name is my name for a reason.
Right. So let me say something to you. I want to help. I'm going to want to help you on my show. I've been activated from my father on the ship just recently, and one of the things I've been activated to do remotely is I could realign the energies of a person who's having all kinds of mixed up contacts, like you're having. How would you like?
Can I tell you what they said?
Go ahead.
So maybe you can tell me, because the voice sounded very deep and guttural that I found on EVP after the fridge door opened, because they were inspecting me. I could feel energies around me on an almost nightly basis inspecting me and being like, who is this man? Why are we being drawn to him? So the fridge opens, closes. I heard that in EVP, but then I heard this disembodied voice say, "Who's the human?" And I have that on recording. I still have it with me.
Right. So we stay away from the paranormal. So if it's disembodied, I won't get into it.
Okay.
Anything paranormal is a no-no.
Well,
but,
in my mind, it wasn't actually disembodied. It was in a different plane, so it had a body, but I couldn't see it. Anyway, continue.
It was in a different dimension, but you heard the voice.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you like to, as I'm reading into your story, really my consciousness is very quick here. I'd like to do a healing thing, meaning if you give me permission, I don't have to see you to do this. I just have to know you're there. How would you like to have a clearing of energy, and how would you like to have that implant dissolve that's moving around in your body?
What does the implant do?
The implants are put in there by beings that should not be doing what they're doing. Usually when a person has... basically they're put in there by lower vibrational beings that are advanced to a certain extent, but they're not spiritually in tune. They're not Christed beings of light from other planets. They're from planets, but their whole goal has been they've been working. They work with a level of our government to do whatever they want to do, and that's against universal law. And
Gotcha.
basically, that's why I'm telling you, as I've been listening to you, I feel like I know you better. I think that if you let me help you during our live together, you're going to feel way different after I'm done doing this.
Let's do it, because I feel like that tracker is probably malicious, and I've been trying to get rid of it for a long time.
Okay, so this is going to be big for me because I've never tried to get rid of a tracker before. So I do everything with the palm of my hands here. So we're going to have you close your eyes, and all my viewers watching this, if you know what I do, you know that I can do what I do. This is going to be another experience for me. I asked the Ashtar Command to put protection around me always. I asked my guards to put protection around me always, and I'm going to help you here. So I want you to breathe in, and I want you to breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out of your nostrils about 4 or 5 times until you're completely relaxed. And I know the negative ETs that are monitoring you aren't going to like what I'm doing, but I don't care, because all I'm going to do is kick their butts tonight.
Thank you.
Yep.
And yeah, I have a
do
positive
that,
experience to share after this too, if you'd like.
And we'll get to that, but we're going to kick their butts out of your experience. Okay. And I'm also going to use my hands of energy, the beam of energy coming from my hand. I'm going to use to clear all the rooms. I'm going to do that with my own energy here from my palm. And by the time we're done, you're going to feel energy differences in your house. I'm doing this completely from this particular remote location. So people that are watching my show, you're going to see something you've probably never seen before. All my shows are documented. Everybody who knows me here knows that I can do what I do here. And again, like I said, I'm not from this planet. He can't turn the camera on. He only has he doesn't have enough people yet. He has to get over 600, 700 to get there. But we're going to help him out. So you tell me when you're relaxed and we'll begin.
I'm relaxed.
Okay, good. So as you're relaxed, I'm going to do something. I'm going to imagine my hand is over your head, and keep yourself relaxing, eyes closed. Turn your mind off. In a few minutes, I'm going to send a beam of energy through your consciousness. It will go into the streaming of your whole body, from the bottom to the top, to every cellular structure. And as I close my eyes, folks, what I'm doing now is amping up the energy. I'm doing this remotely here. Those of you who've been watching me since the beginning of whenever know that I can do what I'm doing here. And I'm going to do this right now to help Odin. We're going to kick the butt of those ETs that have been interfering with you since you were a little child. I'm going to clear your energy out. And after we're done, I'm going to put a protection around your location. In a minute, you should start feeling some energy.
I already started feeling it.
Okay, good.
About 15 seconds ago.
Very good. I'm going to do is clear everything in your body. I'm going to go after the moving implant. Once I find it, I'm going to take it out. It's going to be disintegrated. I'm going to disintegrate it with the palm of my energy of the beam of energy going into your body. That beam will disintegrate the implant. I'm going to destroy the implant, actually, is what I'm trying to say. And if anyone doesn't believe what I can do, I'm doing, I think you better open your eyes up and take a listen. I work as a Christed being of light. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you can tell that it's working because of the interference.
Yeah.
There was static 3 times.
Well, they won't be able to interfere. My energy is way more powerful than the garbage that they're doing.
Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Okay, there's the one person here. I'm going to take them out. Okay.
Oh, I'm followed by baddies everywhere.
Don't worry about it. I take all them out. They can't compete with the commander. We'll just kick them. We'll kick their butts out of my show.
I do a lot of work on my own in my real life on my end here, but I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much.
What I'm doing here comes from the highest levels of light. I'm with the Ashtar Command as well as being a talk show host for 21 years. I am not from this planet. And I am going to
I'm not either.
Do here. But after I get done doing this, you're not going to have any more problems with negative ETs. I'm going to teach you very quickly how to just tune in to Christed beings of light, and you'll have no more interference from the lower vibrational ETs.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm just working on around the edges of your body. Okay, I'm going down. I'm going to go back up. I'm an imaginary, like you were standing right in front of me. I'm just going up to the top of your head and back down around your shoulders, down to the bottom where your feet are, and going back up again. What I'm doing is I'm scanning your body and I'm clearing any energy there that has been put in there to keep you blocked from the higher levels of light. We're going to make sure that there's no negative energies trying to affect you anymore. When I'm done, brother, you're going to be completely clear of these negative ETs that have been bothering you for all these years since you've been a kid. And I think I found the area where the implant is. Give me a moment, please. It feels like it's on the upper part near your head area. It's moving around a little bit. We're going to actually get it. We're going to block it. I want to use my energy to destroy that thing. We're going to take it out. You're not going to even know it's being taken out. We're going to take it out and give it back up to the Creator to destroy. We're clearing all the energies in your cellular structure. The heat is now heating up a lot more, and my palm of my hands get really hot. That means I'm very amped up with energy, healing energy, and we're going to just shoot some healing energy right at your forehead there. If you see me move my hands up, anything I'm doing here, I'm giving it back up to the Creator. Nothing stays, everything goes and gets dissolved, dissolved, dissolved. I'm closing my eyes here for a reason, so in case people think I'm sleeping, I'm not.
It's to refocus the energy.
Right.
From the vision to the other senses.
I'm going to send my beams of energy on two palms of my hands. How many rooms do you have where you are?
I'm actually sitting on a deck right now.
Okay, but how many rooms do you have in your physical environment?
One.
One? Okay, so we're going to clear we're going to clear the one room, and we're going to clear, is there a basement or anything below the rooms?
I'm in an apartment building.
Okay, so we're going to clear all the energy around the apartment building. But we're going to put a protection around your room, your particular apartment. And now we're going to put I'm going to put a invisible beam around you, a sort of a invisible beam, a ray of light around you. And you're going to be protected from here on in. There will not be any more negative ET encounters at all. There'll be no mixed energies coming through. None of that. Give me a second here. They did a job on you for all the years you've been a kid. They did a job on you, and we're now reversing everything they did. The tracker is going to be disappearing. The tracker is going to be, wherever the tracker was, it should be dissolving right now. How do you feel?
Relaxed.
Do you feel that the tracker is still in your body?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I actually don't feel it in my ear. Actually,
okay, I think I've just destroyed the tracker in your body. I think this tracker that
no,
was in your ear.
hold on. That's actually ridiculously nuts. The O-ring that's been in my ear for 20 years is not in my ear
Right.
anymore.
I just
No,
destroyed
that's
it.
like ridiculous.
I just destroyed it.
I wish I could prove to these people that I wish I had a picture of my ear before and after right now, because that's actually insane.
I know you do. For people
That's
that
like
I want to say something here that's very important on people on social media who are watching this show. All these UFO shows out there who are interviewing people, and all these hocus pocus people with their crystal balls. Nothing here I do is not real. Everything I do here is real. I'm on mission to Earth. I am from off planet. I am who I say I am. And you're now seeing, in truth, this is being documented, what I just did tonight with Odin.
yeah,
I've actually destroyed the implant that was in him. I've destroyed it. It's gone.
Legitimately not. I've never met this man before in my life. This thing that's been in my ear for over 20 years is just gone. I've fucked with it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
that's the language. Yeah, that's all right.
I'm sorry about that. That's
okay.
just how. Yeah, I've messed with my ear for years. I've dug into it trying to get this thing out, and it moves. I've torn up my earlobe trying to get it out, and it's not there as of right after what.
You'll never have to
happened.
do anything again, brother. Like I said, I'm a Christed being of light here on Earth. I work with the Ashtar Command. I am from the Ashtar Command, and I've been activated by my father a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And you'll never have that happen again. I destroyed it. That
That's
negative
so cool.
implant that was the ring, it's no longer in your ear. I just totally destroyed it. It's gone.
Oh, that's incredible. I can't. Thank you. I'm gonna send you a PDF of my poetry book.
It's okay. I don't need a gift. I just want to know that my gift for you is to help you. And your gift to me is your story. And your gift gave me the ability to help you. And my ability to help you is I destroyed that implant. And now I'm going to do one more thing. Give me a moment. I'm going to find out where those ETs were that were trying to interfere with you, and all the others. They're going to be forced to stay away from you. And I'm telling them they're going to be able to hear my voice here right now for just a moment. They will hear my voice. They'll understand my language. You are not to interfere with this person ever again, because I will actually make sure you don't ever come back to Earth. Matter of fact, you will not come back to Earth or his location. Wherever you are right now, you will go away from the planet, because I will be able to find you. That's my message to them. They will not bother you anymore. They certainly won't bother me, because I have too much power. And I don't say the word power as an egotistical thing. I have too much power in my Christed being of light, and they can't handle that. They can't even get to that frequency. You are now healed, brother, and you are now good.
Thank you so much.
And I want you to keep in touch. I want you to tell me, do not get in touch with Woodley Strieber or that other guy. Do not get in touch with either one of those guys.
Thank you so much, because I've been on my own for like 3 years now playing Sherlock, trying to figure out who's trustworthy and who's not. I must have messaged the FBI 1,000 messages a few months ago.
Don't do that either. Yeah, don't do that.
I didn't know, because another part of my story is, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Another part of my story, the family who took me away, who, they used to hit me on the head with bats and golf clubs to make me not remember.
Oh my gosh.
Their last name is Daidone, Daidone. They're mafia, and it's in my book that I published. That's why I published the book, to try and get help.
Well, you got help here tonight, brother.
I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. I knew this thing was a tracker for years now, and that's why I've been trying to reach out to people who claim to be people who help others who have been contacted, and that's why, I went for Whitley, because I was like, he's just the only one I know of.
No, he's all messed up. I met him at a UFO conference. His energy's no good. And another guy I don't know, but my friend Ashley said, do not contact him either. Keep in touch with me. We'll put you in touch with the right people.
Okay, thank you.
You contacted me. I'm one of the right people to talk to.
I've been seeing your stuff for the past week or so, and I've popped in your lives here and there, and I might have said like hi every now and then,
Right.
but I'm so glad that I popped on tonight. I'm just sitting under the night sky making things, and I made some like healing bowls today. Whatever. It just like I make lots of space jewelry, and I have pockets full of meteorites and stuff because I like their energy.
Well, here's one of the things I want you to say. This is really important. This will seal the deal, so to speak. I do this with everybody I've helped. I want you to say, I am a Christed cosmic being of light.
I am a Christed cosmic being of light.
I will never, ever be touched by negative ETs again.
I will never, ever be touched by negative ETs again.
Because I am in my light.
Because I am in my light.
And I am a Christed being of light.
And I am a Christed being of light.
All right, brother. See, that's it. That seals the deal.
Thank you,
no
brother.
one's going to bother you. They're not going to touch you. You're going to be focused. When you want to connect with the positive ETs strictly, I will help you here do that on my show.
Awesome.
Okay, we will help you do that.
Thank you so much. I'll be tuning in
promise.
often.
All right. Well, you'll stick around because you're now a friend of the show. You're a friend of our show.
I'll be here. You're on here like every night at 11, right?
And once in a while, I take a break just to regenerate my energy because of what I do, just like what I did now. It takes a lot of work to do what I do. But yeah, everything I do, folks, is real. He'll tell you, I just took away an implant in his ear. I just destroyed it.
Anybody who's here, I had something in my ear that was a ring shape for 20 years. After what you just witnessed, that ring is gone. It's gone. It was there. I felt it. I've played with it for 20 years of my life. It's no longer there.
And I also have to give thanks to my father Rubar on the ship, who did something with me and touched my forehead and activated something in me to help people. And I thank they watch our show on the spaceship. They're watching it now. I want to thank him for that gift to help others.
And I'd like to thank Rubar as well.
Well, that's my dad. He's on the ship right now. So I want to thank you, Odin. Rubar. And your blessing, brother. I'm glad you came here. You're now free. Always focus on Christ consciousness. Forget all the past experiences of the negative. You're now just always look at yourself. And I'm going to put a protection around a shield around your house, apartment. I'm putting a shield around your body right now before you go. The shield is permanent. No one will be able to see it. And you're protected in the highest levels of light, brother.
Thank you so much.
All right, Odin. Thank you.
I'm so excited to be your friend now.
We're excited to have you as a friend, brother. And let me do this here. I'm going to bring it down gently here. Let's see. I want to.
All right.
Oh, here we go. All right, Odin. All right, folks. So I want to give people what just happened here. This is recorded. Everything I do is definitely recorded and documented. For people that didn't believe I can do these things, I want to straighten you out if you're new to the show in a positive way, in a friendly way. I am not from this planet. Okay? I am human. I have human cousins, relatives like everybody else. I am a starseed. So how I define that for me is I came on Mission Earth as a baby. I grew up, I had many sightings, and I've told my encounter stories and contact stories, and I'm fully activated. I also will say to you, I've said it this morning, I'll say it again, in a few months I'll be going off planet. I'll be coming and going off planet physically with the Ashtar Command, which are beautiful men and women, people that have families from other planetary systems, and I'll be coming back to do mission work with 4 other people. One of them is a dear friend of ours up in Vermont, Friends with Fairies 1111. You'll want to follow her and learn about what's happening with what's going to happen. Okay. What I just did with Odin here tonight, he had an implant for years, this moving implant in his ear area. I just destroyed an implant that was in his body. I destroyed it. With the powers that were given to me, I was able to destroy it just remotely with the palm of my hand. Just that alone. Do you understand? So that's part of the mission work, you see. So I'm revealing something I'm able to do. Some of you, I've done it subtly when I came on here in 2023. I didn't realize that was just subtle stuff. I've been amped up to do a lot more. Can you make me a millionaire? No, I'm not here to make people millionaires. Thank you, Brenna. Thank you. Please show your support for the work I'm doing like you just saw me do. You can go to my Venmo account and make a donation on my main page. There's a link. Please do that. I appreciate all that support. Please give me, if you can, TikTok gifts. Brenna, thank you for the hat. I appreciate that. I appreciate it so much. So the person that wants to be a millionaire, I'm going to have to take you out of here, brother, because that's not what this is about. And I do have people in queue. If you want to be on the show, thank you, Teresa Doc. Thank you, New Laura Lee. I appreciate the gifts. If you want to be on the show, you have to be over 18. Thank you, Susan. Kit Kat, thanks for joining us, Kit Kat. She's one of our 5 that's going to go off planet. Oh, my next bingo is going good. I just helped a person, and we destroyed an implant that was in his body. That's right. It's about healing and not greed. That's right. If they start coming here and ask me to help them be a millionaire, I'm going to block them. I'm not here to make people millionaires. That's not my purpose. So if you're over 18 and no foul language, no smoking, no vaping, no drinking, no drugs, no drunks, no paranormal discussion, you can come on, give a comment in the comment section about what you wish to share, and we'll bring you up here. Spanky, thank you. Chicago, we love you too. Thank you, brother. So we're going to get off the whole, I know some people are kidding now, but we're not going to make anybody millionaires. Peace and freedom are more precious than material things. Absolutely correct, blessed mom. Hey, Corey. Nora Zora, good evening. Blessings to you. I want to see who's, hey, peace of mind. Let me see who's in here. So we have a couple of people that I'm not sure familiar with. ArielRa is a friend of mine, so I'll bring Ariel up here because I know Ariel's a friend.
Hello, brother. How are you?
Hey, we're doing good. How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. I was happy to come across your live, and I'm kind of in the middle of working on something, and figured I'd just stop in and say hello.
I'm glad you did. I don't know if you were here with Odin, who's still here. I just took an implant out of his body when he was on my show.
Yeah, I was here. I watched the whole thing.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. You're going to love being a part of the tribe here that watches this show. It's on usually most nights. I'm also on radio for 21 years on NPR radio. I still do the show, and I am with the Ashtar Command, so I work on multiple levels of consciousness here. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you know, I am also not from here. Slightly different, though, however, because I come from Sirius, not so much as Mars. But, I came here in 2020 during the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, December 21st, 2020 to be exact. That's when there was enough alignment for my consciousness to come down into my vessel, who happens to also be one of my bloodlines. So that's what made it possible. And then we came here to kind of do the groundwork. You guys are up there doing the work in the skies, and we are sort of like the ground soldiers down here, finding the what I guess you call the lost sheep, right?
Well, the ground. You're like part of the ground crew of the space people that are here to help find the other people that are kind of not sure what's happening.
Exactly. And we're also the ones here to, when you guys go off planet, to hang back and make sure that no one, ends up falling for the traps.
Right. There can be a lot of traps if people aren't aware of them.
Oh, yes. All that Project Bluebeam stuff, it's only getting worse.
Well, the Project Bluebeam is, I always tell people, before there was any internet, there was no Project Bluebeam. A lot of that is a diversion from the real truth. And I keep telling people, I make jokes about it, which I will still do. when people say Project Bluebeam, I tell them it doesn't exist. It
Yeah.
is just a side tracking thing. So I say Project Green Bean, Project Tomato, Project Watermelon. Well, I like watermelons. Project,
Right.
Peanuts. I mean, so I try to get them to loosen up about it and not be so serious about it. There's other things that are happening besides the illusionary Project Bluebeam, as you know. You already know that, and so most of my audience. So there's a lot of things that we do and when we come into our, as a starseed coming here to Earth off planet, and you are also in a sense a starseed because you're in the physical human form and you're dealing with everyday life just like I am, but you're also very aware of your cosmic being, which there are billions of people that aren't. Many of the people in my audience are very much starseed and connected, just like you're talking, and more of us are out there than not, and I think more people are waking up. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My inbox has been an influx, and my team we've gotten so busy that I've actually had to promote people to handle some of the influx because I just don't have the time to answer all the messages anymore.
Right. It gets crazy.
Yeah, it gets wild. So, but it's going good there. But what I was referring to, and I shouldn't have used the terminology Project Bluebeam because I understand it's a very blanketed sort of statement.
Yeah, it is.
But
Pretty
what
much
I'm
is, yeah.
referring to is there is a what do they call it? It's called IDLE. It's an acronym. It's called
Okay.
Informative something something. It's basically an AI driven projection to where they can send like light particles, microscopic particles into the atmosphere. And then
Yeah.
with this system, they can project anything from they can make it look like there's an actual God standing there or Jesus Christ himself.
Yeah, it's a holographic image.
Yes, exactly. And so that's basically what I meant by, the ground troops. We're here to
Yeah,
tap
right,
everyone on
right.
the shoulder and go, by the way, that's not real.
That isn't real. And they're doing that. They're using holographic images now. The reason why they're doing it, brothers and sisters, I'm going to give you some really good information here. They know, the governments of the world know that there is contact coming in a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And and I think you already know this, but for those that don't know what's happening, I'll just remind you that the council on our ship of the Astro Command, my friend April, who'd been on, they brought her onto the important meeting of how they're going to broadcast to the planet when they're ready to broadcast us. They're going to do that. They're going to broadcast over all the media, the TV, the radio, whatever. I don't know about the radio, but so they decided that I would be the best representative on planet Earth to speak to all the people, and they'll have translators. They have translators on the ship that can translate into the most languages that we don't even know of. There's so many different languages on Earth that they're not just French, German, or English, or Mexican or whatever, Spanish or Chinese or whatever. There are people that speak languages that are unknown to some people, right?
Mhm.
So what they're going to do is they're going to take me on the ship sometime before major contact. Are going to be doing this, and I don't know when. They don't work in time. The people in space don't work in time. On
No.
Earth, we're saying, Commander, what time are you going to go on the ship? I'm not going to tell anybody because I don't know how that. I only know that they're going to take me on the ship. They'll come into my room. The rift will open up, and I'll be on the ship in 2 seconds. When
Yeah.
that happens, I will actually speak before billions of people. I mean, I'll be speaking to the whole planet, and anybody that has a TV set, a cable television set, you will see me on a spaceship in a spacesuit speaking before you to billions of people on Earth. It's going to probably freak out the whole complex of control, from religion to the military industrial complex, politicians. They're all going to be like freaking out. They're going to see this person, which is me, in a spacesuit talking to everybody on Earth. That's probably going to happen between now, anywhere between probably in 2025 at some point. 2026 is when contact will happen. I believe they'll probably prep me on the ship before, and sometime in the year 2025, you'll see me be going off planet to be prepared for that. Just so you people know.
Around December time, 2025 would be my guess.
Yeah, it's going to be 2025, and it could be sooner. Again, I've been meditating. I've been prepping myself quietly for this for a few months now. I've been doing deep meditations, getting very centered. It could be way sooner, but I'm conservative about it because I don't want to I don't want to say that it's going to happen right away, but again, better for me because I'm the one that's going to be going on the ship to be conservative about it and then find out a few months from now I'm going on the ship earlier than I even thought I was. So I'm just
Yeah.
being cautious, not for the fact that I'm not excited. I don't think I'm not excited about doing this. Who gets to do this, right? I never thought I'd ever do this, but this is like going to blow the whole UFO community. All these well-known people that have been at all these conferences are going to see this person from Connecticut speaking on a spaceship from the Ashtar Command, and they're going to say, I don't think I remember that guy at a UFO conference. I'm just kidding. But, but I'm very humble. I'm always humble in my mission work. And my friend James says, huge craft seen underwater, travels over 500 knots, shaped like a building. Interesting, James.
Oh, that must be
Interesting.
new.
So it's new. There's a lot of stuff going on now. I think there's a lot of spaceships in our oceans and seas that people, if you're tuned into this, there are galactic ships in our oceans that travel in our deep oceans. They've been doing it for millions of years. But I think there's a lot of activity now because we're getting ready for contact. The space people in our oceans have ships. The space people, of course, beyond Earth have ships. Everything's starting to converge now. There's going to be a lot of things happening, people. You should be excited. A lot of things are going down on this planet pretty soon. And it's going to shake every foundation of every government, every religion, whatever people's belief systems are going to be thrown out the window when contact happens.
Oh yeah, it's funny you actually say that because I was on another show earlier today, and I kind of feel bad. But he was like a pastor, like a Southern Baptist pastor,
Okay.
and we were talking, we were having a good conversation. But then he started doing what all pastors do, which was cherry pick and all this other stuff, and I wasn't even trying to make him upset, but he got so upset, and he said something that was kind of like derogatory towards a certain religion, and in the middle of our live he got kicked, he got banned from the live, like in the middle of it while we were on air. I was like, wow,
things happen. That's what happens when you're not in alignment with your energies.
And that's exactly what I was thinking when that happened. I'm like, we were sitting here having a civil discussion, and like the moment he flipped, and you could tell that he just, he was basically painted into a corner and had nothing left. He just kind of lashed out, and it was just boom. And I was like, well, if that doesn't tell you who's in charge, I don't know what does.
Really, And I only had a problem once a while ago, and I got reinstated in 2 seconds because they looked at the video. They realized I didn't do anything wrong, and I do a talk show. So why would I do something to, make my show not be here?
Well,
I always try to be at the highest light.
I was very shocked at what he said because it was bad. Like I can't even repeat it. It was so bad.
We'll go past him. We'll go past him. But
I just thought that
the
was
thing
very
is, we're going into a real. When I go on that ship and make that speech or whatever I'm going to do, I am going to be. That's the time when the planet will be liberated. All of you will be liberated on this planet. When that happens, when we go on the ship and speak to the whole world, I get a vision of like a round room with monitor screens looking at the Earth, and we'll be taking over every broadcast system on the planet. Tahar, I have to say Tahar. That's something that they go on the ship. It's called the Tahar, and I know it's kind of interesting. And
I was wondering what all that stuff was.
Yeah, it's an actual Tahar is. I think it's a plant that you can actually drink. It turned into a liquid, and they're vegetarians on the ship, so they don't eat meat or anything, but they are vegetarian. And but anyway, when I go on the ship, what's going to happen is, I'm just trying to reset something here. When I go on the ship, what's going to happen here is I will be speaking all over the planet to every broadcast system that exists on the Earth, meaning that they will not be able to jam it. They won't be able to jam the space people or their equipment. I don't know how the space people will transmit. I don't know what they use for a transmitter. I'm thinking Earth-based because I'm on radio and I've been in a TV studio. What they have on the ship is way more advanced than any technology on Earth. And they will be able to go over every broadcast system, override every TV network, and you'll be seeing me in a spacesuit speaking with there'll be 4 space people behind me, the way I understand it, and they will stand behind me, and I'll be sitting in some sort of a seat and broadcasting to the people of Earth. And I'm not going to get any dates because I don't have that specific, but I know between now and probably 2025, then I'll be taken on the ship to get prepared for that.
Yeah,
But
well,
I'll also
I
be
can,
going on the ship more than that. I'll be going on the ship before that with 4 other people in a group of 5 with Friends with Fairies 1111, who's documented everything. She's been going every other night on the Ashtar ships, she said the other night, and so she has to have been gone on ships over 60 times already.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But so I can confirm your date is correct. It will be December 2025, early 2026. That's the same
Yeah.
message I've been getting. That hasn't changed, and that's the
Hasn't
same
changed.
my team has been
Same.
getting as well.
You're very much in sync. Originally, last year, the year before last, 2022, it was 2027, 28. Timeline has been totally speeded up to 2025, 2026.
Yes, yes. So that's actually what I'm in the process of doing tonight. I just finished. I'm working on my prayer space to work on some timeline jumps. So trying to buy some
Interesting.
more time. Trying to buy some more time.
Oh, man, it's interesting talking to you. I'm glad you're a friend of the show, man, and I'm glad you
I
came
love
up.
watching you, man. I love watching you, but I do have to go because I need to do this before midnight, or else I have to tear it all down and do it all over again.
I'll let you go, and I want to appreciate you very much, brother. Thank you for all the work you're doing, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, brother. You have a great one.
Okay, ArielRa, take care.
Supporting my friend here. Y'all keep supporting him.
Yeah, and I want to thank him for being on here. A lot of things are happening, folks. We are so amped up. You know things are getting really amped up here. You know it. So I just helped somebody earlier and if you missed the show earlier, Odin was on here. We took an implant out of his ear, like a living implant that the negative ETs put in him. We took that out. Tar. We took it out, and I did a lot of work on him tonight, and he's completely clear of any of that. And we put a protection around him. Odin's right in the room. He says it's true. I'll pin it up here. Odin was on my guest. He was my guest on the show tonight, and he was the second guest. He will tell you that I took out the implant that was in his physical body in the ear. I destroyed it. I completely destroyed it remotely from my location. So the command has me very amped up here. They've given me more abilities to do things, and I'm very humble about that. You won't be able to see the implant. I destroyed it. There's no implant anymore. It's destroyed. Totally destroyed. When we go in to destroy a negative implant in somebody's body from the ETs that are negative, we don't keep the implants as a souvenir. We destroy them. The implant was destroyed, Jessica. It had to be destroyed. It was negative. I destroyed it. You can't see a destroyed implant because it was dissolved. It's nothing. It doesn't exist anymore. When I say destroyed it, it is gone. Hey, Nature's Whispers, Roger Clapp. They were working with Eyes of Horus and MK. Odin says been pulling. So he had it for 20 years. This implant was in his body for 20 years, and I destroyed it. It's gone. It's gone. The one thing we don't want to ever keep around are negative implants from ETs that are negative. We destroy it. Yeah, I know April's on live, and that's good. We're going to get April on the show Saturday night. I know her daughter's been in the hospital, and, so hopefully she's going to be better, As a matter of fact, it didn't hurt Odin at all. We destroyed it. He didn't feel a thing. I did it with my palm of my hand. I destroyed that whole thing with the palm of my hand. I sent energy out that they've been April's been going on the ship over probably 60 times now. We'll be joining her. There's a group of 4 of us here, Kit Kat, myself, Johnny, and Chesno. We'll be going on soon, physically. I'll be going on a separate level to do the broadcast to the planet, but I don't know when that is yet, but I'll be doing that. Yeah, I did. I gave it the Ashtar chop. I mean, I really destroyed it. The one thing I've learned as I become more activated since last year, and the contact with my space family, I've been very humble that I was activated to do more things on my own with my energy from my palm of my hand. So I am blessed with that. But I use it very, I don't just use it to use it. I'll use it in certain situations like Odin's situation, but I won't use it all the time unless I physically have someone that I really need to help. I don't want to abuse that, And he is stunned because for 20 years he had this implant in him and I just destroyed it completely. Hey, Earth Angel, good to see you. I mean, I'm really amped up here tonight, and my lighting's good because I put another light here, a big lamp here, and I'm not going down in the light anymore, so that's good. I just couldn't figure out why my lighting was changing. But the one thing is, I want to see who this other person is. I don't like to bring people up unless I know who they are. And let's see here. Oh, down the rabbit hole I'll bring up because I know who James is. And James, I want you to talk about this ocean thing. Hey, James, how you doing?
Hello, greetings to you. Hello, Commander.
Tell us about this. This is really interesting. When did this thing happen you mentioned?
So I was watching an interview with this guy that has, I don't know what his connection to the government is, but he has a lot of intel on the ART program and the Kona Blue programs and all of that.
Yeah.
And he said they were outside of an oil rig, and the oil rigs have cameras on the the railings under the water, so the cameras are always always recording. So NASA or whatever government entity was tracking this craft underwater, and they said that the craft was moving over 500 knots under the water. And when they finally were able to, they have camera picture of it. I haven't seen the picture, but the guy's seen it. And he said that it was bigger than the oil rig. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever seen an oil rig, but the oil rigs are they're like a building, like a skyscraper.
Right.
They're huge, they're a full city block,
They're really big.
And this thing was under the water, bigger than the oil rig, moving over 500 knots, and it was going down, like shooting down under the water.
So going deeper into the ocean or the sea. How big? And so this thing was quite, based on what you're saying, what you understood from getting this information, watching it, was it as big as an airline jet or bigger?
Oh, Commander, we're talking 20 airline jets. You're talking, imagine a 20-story building, a city block, 20 stories tall, humongous. They said they never, a submarine pales in comparison to the size of this thing.
Wow. It could be, and I'm just getting this as I'm talking to you, it could be one of the Ashtar command ships that are in the oceans. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it could be.
It was blocked. They said it was long. They said it looked like a building sideways. It was square.
Yeah.
It was very, it wasn't shiny. It was rugged looking. And they had to, the guys on this rig were supposedly all sequestered and paid off.
Really? Oh, they were paid off not to say anything.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Because
I believe
it's just a bunch of guys working the rig, and they've got a security camera system They had no clue what the NASA folks were doing. The NASA folks came and said, "Hey, we need your camera info."
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
But
So they,
there's been so many huge ship sightings lately, Commander. I don't know
oh
if you've
yeah.
been. I mean, some
There's
of
another
these
one recently. Somebody had it
crafts.
on what's it called, infrared radar. Someone's been posting the other
Yeah,
day that's just this huge thing. I've got to really research it. It's somewhere off the coast. I'm not sure if the coast of the U.S. or another coast. I need to go back and find it. Somebody posted something that's supposedly really huge and moving, and I don't remember where in the world it was, but they have a radar detector detecting it or some sort of radar system.
right. I
Have
think
you
I
seen
saw
that?
you're talking about the one that was coming off of Antarctica up underneath Africa.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
it. That could be.
blessed moms. Yes, yeah, blessed. That's the one that was off of Africa.
That's another
It
one.
was
So let's go.
huge. And
Yeah,
well,
there's a
Hawaii, Hollywood mentioned Hawaii. Hawaii had a very large sighting, a group of people. My family on Eva Beach, and now this is weird too. Eva Beach, my hometown, had a huge fire like Maui, and it wasn't even on the news. And this was just within the
really,
past few weeks.
really,
And yeah, and after that, they saw there was like a mass group of people that saw um, something shining in the water. And there's video of it out there. I saw videos, but you can't really tell.
you
But
can't tell. But still, if you have more than one witness, it's compelling.
right,
If you have more than one person, and maybe you can't always get the right video because of where this thing was. Maybe it's not conducive for unless you're like have an aerial drone and can get over the water and get a better video footage of it. You take what you can get, and
right.
yeah,
I think we're
interesting.
gonna see more. You know what we're gonna see a lot more of too is these cloaking ships in the
Oh yeah,
clouds.
yep,
Everybody take a good look at the clouds. Make sure you're paying attention because when you're awake to these things, you'll see them sitting right there.
yeah,
And it's
and
to the point. It's to the point now where it's like it's almost an everyday thing.
well, they want you to see them. I mean, our space people want you to see them. The good ETs want you to see them. They basically will cloak in a cloud. I have a picture of one. I have one here that I want to show you that will be one of those ships. I did this a few months ago. Let me see if I could bring it up here. Hold on a minute. And I'll give you an example of one of these things. Hold on a minute. Let me go to my pictures. Am I going to be able to do this? Okay. My camera is on. What's it telling me to turn my camera on? Let's do this here. Let me go back to this. Here, hold on a minute.
Commander, wait till you see this picture I'm gonna post. I was driving, and I
Here,
swear to God, hey everybody,
take a look at
hey
this for a
everybody.
minute. This is the ship right here. I was outside of
Whoa, look
work
at
one
that one.
day.
That is a good ship.
That is a cloaked spaceship. The thing is perfectly, the energy fields around the outer part of it. It's as smooth as can be. It's not a lenticular cloud. I've researched cloud ships for years, and this just appeared out of nowhere until I just looked up, and you can see like something's coming out of the center of it, like layers, and it's an Astar Command spaceship.
Now that is a great catch. You took that picture, Commander?
I took that picture, yeah.
Wow, they were coming to say hello.
Oh yeah, they it was the only thing in the sky. That thing was really low, it was above a farm field. The next field over was a farm, and I got the picture, and it was as beautiful as can be, incredibly beautiful. But I'm gonna go back to the screen. But I wanted to show you that because, yeah.
I put up a
But I
picture
think
here on mine. I was driving around, and I see this cloud, And to me, I don't know if anybody can see it, but it looks like a rabbit face. Like two eyes, the little button nose, the little squishy cheeks. I don't know if, like right here, hold on, like right here is the eye. See
Yeah.
the eye here, eye there.
I can kind of see that,
Nose.
you know.
I
Look at
was
the
like,
picture of
oh, look at the universe showing me a little bunny rabbit in the sky.
Now look at this. Look at this picture on the right side that I took, James, everybody. This is another ship, but this is about a month and a half ago. I pulled over. Look how well defined this thing is.
Commander, they're coming for you, man. They're coming to show you more because they're you got a mission, man. You got a mission.
No, it's definitely, I wanted to share that with people. Let me see here. I'm going to go back to my other screen, but I just wanted to share some stuff. I do have stuff, folks, that I will share as I get pictures, and I just wanted you to.
Oh, where'd Commander go? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, this is a CmdrAleon entertainment break. Ding 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 ding.
I'll show you my
There he
father.
is.
This is my father, Robar, coming through the rift in April's home where the space people come. You can see the human face. My friend Ashley cleared up the photo. You can see the rift is around him, the light. You can see the human nose, the face. Half the body's coming through the rift. That is my father, Robar, who's from the spaceship. And he's right there. You can take a good look at it.
Who's there's somebody else? Who's that? That's a lady there too.
There were a couple of space people that come in through the rift and then and sometimes they don't take her off planet, but when they do, she goes through the rift. In 2 seconds, she's on the spaceship. But this picture with the arrow is my father from the spaceship Robar.
And a lady standing next to him.
Yeah, there's a lady. I'm not sure the energy of that. I'm not sure who that would be. They come sometimes. All of them come, like her family from the ship, my family, my sisters, and my brother have appeared. And I'm trying to get photos of all of them that I can show you down the road. I will have photos that are clearly able to be seen, and as I get them, I'll share them with you.
Commander, I'm going to ask you a question, and I know you don't do politics, but this has to do with ETs. Have you seen these recent videos of Nancy Pelosi saying I'm a reptilian? Like she's just saying it out in the open now, and it's really freaky. And I don't know if anybody else saw those videos. I posted one, and they pulled it down. TikTok, it was my first video ever pulled down. And I said, how could you pull down a video of something that she said? And, I just want to know your thoughts on that, the reptilians in politics.
I think it's possible. I think it is possible. Like, I'll put it this way. There are star beings.
Look at the chat. Everybody says they believe it and they saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I did see it too. I will put it this way. There are positive space people that have come off the ships that are living amongst us, that are human, that have all kind of olive-looking skin. They are beautiful people. They're human. And then you have these reptilians that have blended into society. Now, whether or not a politician or a religious leader is a reptilian, I don't have much of a view on that, but I stay away from that pretty much for a lot of different reasons. But I do understand that there are people that are promoting that idea.
Did you say beautiful olive-colored skin people?
Yeah.
There's a beautiful olive skin.
My friend Ashtarthena told me, and even my friend Amnik Anik, who wrote the book From Venus I Came. If you get the book From Venus I Came, Amnik Anik is a friend of mine. She's in Germany. She's one of the original contactees. And if you ever read her book From Venus I Came, she came off a ship, and she lived on a farm, and she's a very beautiful person, and she's in Germany. And she used to go all over the world and speak. And she talks about her mission and her work. And she's from Venus. I think she's from Venus. She's not the Venus that is in our dimension. She's from a different Venus, so to speak. But Yeah, I tend to stay away from all that stuff. The other stuff, I just keep it focused on what's going to happen with the mission work right now.
Commander, Amanda in the chat says, why do you think people are chosen to be contacted?
That's a great question. I can answer that.
Yep.
I think I can answer that. I think it's because they're being contacted because they're supposed to be contacted at a certain specific point in time. And there's a lot of people here that say, I want to have contact. I want to be contacted, right? And I tell those people, don't worry about being contacted. You will eventually be contacted. There's nothing to worry about, because when you're not contacted, it doesn't mean that you're not part of something greater. Everyone's part of something greater in this whole thing that's
Right.
coming up. Everybody has, we all have our earth-based mothers and fathers, grandmother, grandfather, a brother, a sister. Maybe you're a lone child or something, whatever it might be, you still have an importance. Without ego, you still have a reason for being here. So as you learn that you're not just having a human experience, you're going to learn a lot of things, especially on this show. You're going to wake up to the fact that you're not alone, that there are other people here that we're all, James is a contactee because of his story with the angels. You're going to meet a lot of people here that are having substantial wake-up things happen to them that never they thought in their life would happen, right? And so don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. We'll help you get there. We'll all help each other, because that's what we're here to do. We all help each other. It's not like there's no ego about like, oh, why was somebody contacted? How come I wasn't contacted? You all have space family beyond Earth. I want you to know this now. I can say this with complete love in my heart. Every one of you has a space family somewhere. It's just a matter of time. When contact happens, you're going to be very surprised. When the mass contact happens, you will meet your star family. And your biological family might freak out a little bit, but you're going to meet your star family. Everybody will.
It's gonna be somebody was saying earlier, like, what's gonna happen to the world when we have contact? Won't the governments crumble? And I'm like, yes, the governments will crumble.
They will.
Because the way that the societies in space operate are totally different than the way we should be operating.
Right.
And don't worry about that, guys. Don't worry about the chaos or anything. Yes, some people are going to the people that are not seeing things. Some people still will not believe it. And
Right.
it's not for everybody either, right? Because eventually everybody will know the truth. They'll acquiesce to the truth. And then we can move on. But sometimes that needs to happen. So
Right.
don't worry about it. It's gonna happen. Contact is coming, and don't feel bad. Like Blessed Mom said, she's like, I've been trying to contact my star family, and I'm not getting anything. I'm just being patient, and that's all you can do. Just be patient.
Yeah, that's it. It'll happen.
Sometimes it happens for a reason. Sometimes it happens because your third eye is open and you see them and they didn't mean for you to see them.
Right. And I'm going to respond to this other message. Clean3210 says, I'm not sure where she's going with this. You're going to get scared because the picture of those clowns aren't space anything. I wonder what you mean by that. Let me see if she just says
I didn't see the...
you're gonna get scared because their picture of those clowns are in space anything. Can you elaborate? Let me see what she says. Some can't handle it, Molly says. I want to see what this other person... let me just respond to that person if I think I know what they're trying to say. There is space, cleaning, but I don't know where you're going with this, so I don't know where your vibe is on this. But there are space everything. And there's space all over space. There's space beyond Earth. There's many, many dimensions of existence. There are many planetary systems, many universes, many galaxies.
She said she'll come up to explain, Commander.
Yeah, I'd like to explain that because I'm a little bit confused. Let's see here. We'll bring up, you have to be over 18. I'm happy to have her up here. I want to find out where she's coming from and see if we're on the same vibe track here. This is Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. I'm host of WESU-FM's NPR station, The Cosmic Eye.
Hello.
I think hey, hello. Is it Plina 3210?
So y'all got I can't hear.
Can you hear us now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we can hear you. You sound pretty good. So it's hard to get an idea from a sentence. So can you explain what you mean when you just said you're gonna get scared because the picture of those clowns are in space anything?
Basically, I don't know where you got that picture from, but that has nothing to do with celestial beings at all.
Oh, that's my background for my show. That has nothing to do with anything. That's my show background. That's
No,
my
what
show.
I'm saying is the picture that I saw illuminating and all the it looked like they got on robes and stuff.
There's no robe going on.
That is so
That's what they
fake.
call.
Oh, you
That's not
mean
fake.
the picture of his father?
Yeah, it's
That's
fake.
not fake. That's
It
real.
is
That's a
so
rift.
fake.
Well, yeah,
It
I'm
is
sorry you
so
feel
fake.
that way, but that is so real that you don't understand it.
No, you don't understand. I seen
I do.
real, and real
Okay,
has nothing to do with
you're
illuminating
real.
and stuff like that.
You have no idea what you're saying in this
Yes, I
experience.
do. Yes, I
This is
do.
this is the connection to my space family, and you really have no idea.
You have no space family, boo boo.
Okay, well, since I don't have a space
Wait,
family, bye
what do you
bye.
mean he doesn't have a space family? What
Let me
the
just
heck?
see. I wanted to bring it up for one reason. Now I have one reason to do what I'm going to do. Bye bye. See you later. Have fun. I just took her out. See, that's what happens. I knew this was going to happen, but I did bring her up for one reason, to expose her, and I exposed her, and she's gone. That's all. No big deal. Bye bye.
Ooh, some people just can't handle the truth, Commander.
Yeah.
Some people can't handle the truth.
Yep. I don't know who she's in contact with, but it's not the space
See,
people.
she's in contact with the reptilians and the Zetas.
Probably, yeah. That's probably her space family.
Well, you know what happens to and you know there are a few people on the planet that have had negative experiences. We understand that. We know that it has happened,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
this is a small percentage. It's it's not an everyday occurrence, and we do sympathize with the people that have had bad experiences. Heck, we've had, how many people have we had on the show that have had
Yeah, we've helped a lot of people.
right. So maybe she missed out on an opportunity there.
She did. The way she went about it, she surely missed out. But you know what? The one thing we don't have time to do when people get like that is waste our energy to try to do something, because it's just going to be a friction of energy, and I don't want to have that happen.
Yeah, we don't need any kind of friction.
No, and we move on and we keep it positive, and by the experiences people have, I'm able to help them. Being an Ashtar commander, one of the things I've learned, I've had people try to, over the years, even before there was internet, these two women came to see me because they knew I was with the Ashtar Command. They heard about me. This is way before all this stuff existed, and what they were trying to do is trip me up. Nobody was home in the house. I was home alone. I said, okay. This one woman said she was Palladian. This other woman said she was whatever. So they came in, and then as soon as I touched this other person to do a healing, they freaked out, and the other one started getting belligerent and angry, and they had to leave. And when they left, I told my wife later on what happened, and my friend at the time, who's no longer here, and they were just trying to trip me up. And I've learned in my mission work that when you try to trip me up, it doesn't work. It backfires. I'm very, very aware of a lot of things. You can't really trip me up too much, because I'll know right away in 2 seconds, just like with this other woman.
Yeah, and if somebody doesn't agree with you, Commander,
that's one thing.
There's a way to go about it, right? There's a way to conduct yourself.
She's when she starts telling me who I'm in contact with, now you're crossing my line. That doesn't work.
She's in contact with Howard the Duck.
Probably. But, but I'm glad we're here. It's like 105. We reached at 98,000. Please, everybody follow me. If you're not following me, you should, because when contact happens, you're going to hear about it right here on Encounters. This is where it's happening. Saturday night is our Ashtar Command Q&A. Every Saturday evening, September 14th, we're having a big event in Connecticut, which is the Ashtar Command Contact Program. We'll be meeting on a beach in Madison, Connecticut, and people are invited, but you need to go on my main page here. Email me if you're able to come in the region. I'll tell you what you need to bring, like water, maybe well, there are chairs and benches, and we're right on the water on the Connecticut side. So the beach is like, you just step down in the beach sand and there's the water. So it's going to be a really important event for us. We're going to hopefully have a lot of visual contact using Dr. Stephen Greer's protocol. And I also have our Ashtar Command protocol. Our Ashtar Command protocol makes sure we merge Stephen Greer's understanding with his app with a Christed meditation, which we do before we start. And with that Christed meditation, that allows us to make sure we're having the most highest vibration of contact possible. So, again, email me if you're going to come that September 14th in Madison. We'll be starting at 8:30. We'll be broadcasting live on TikTok. We'll be meeting a half hour early just to get people together, and we'll be using night vision equipment. We're going to be we'll be doing it live, Ruby. Yeah, we'll be broadcasting it live.
Commander will be passing the apple cider.
Oh yeah, we'll have. I'm telling people, if you're coming, bring like water bottles. Bring something, because we're going to be out there for a few hours in the evening. Bring stuff to snack on or whatever. But we're going to be very focused on contact that night. Very, very focused. Well, it's 1:00 in the morning. It's a Tuesday morning. I think we'll call it a night. And if you want to follow me, folks, if April's still on, I'm going to go down and check her out for a little bit, and then I'm going to go to sleep. But I want to thank you all for being here. Odin, thanks for coming on, brother. I'm glad we were able to destroy that that implant, and all beautiful things will happen now. So if you want to be a guest on the show,
Commander?
Say again.
Isn't that wild with the implant? Like, I mean, this is one for the record books, right?
Yeah. I've never destroyed an implant before, so it is one. And it's all documented, so no one can say, "Oh, I don't believe you did it." Odin's recording is on here with me live this evening, and if you watch me on YouTube with him, April's not on anywhere. Okay, she probably went to sleep, but but I can say this, that what I've done. Okay, she's not on right now. Okay, good. I'll catch her another night. But what I did with Odin is documented. The implant was in his ear area, and it was moving. He's had it for many, many years. And I was able to destroy it. And if people say, "How can you prove it?" I don't have to prove anything. The proof is in Odin.
The dude had it for 20 years. And, why would somebody say, "Oh, I had an implant for 20 years," and he didn't know? He said it like he didn't know, Commander. It's not like this is a setup thing.
I didn't even know who Odin was.
Right.
I never knew who he was. It says, and when the implant was in his ear area, he says it was a living, moving implant. I destroyed it. This is going to be going down in history only for the sake of the fact that I've been given the power by the command to do these things with the palm of my hand. It's gone. He says it's gone. It's absolutely gone. I don't make up stories.
Yeah, disintegrated. Like it wasn't even there. Like it phased out of reality.
Yeah, Hetty, if she's still on there, just block her. I blocked her. Make sure she's blocked. That's one of my moderators. So I want people to know that things are getting serious as we go through this journey together, no matter what medium you're using, whatever social medium, understand that there's going to be the people on the other side of it that are going to try to sideswipe people as we get close to contact, and we're not going to let it happen. Not me. Not on this show. We're going to go straight forward and make sure everybody has. I know she's not on now, so she'll probably be on tomorrow night. I'll message her about Saturday. Hopefully her daughter feels better, and hopefully she'll be able to come on Saturday night for Ashtar Grand Contact Night. So I'm going to call it a night here. We're over 104,000. Thank you everybody for being here. Please, any final gifts? Thanks you for the heart me. We appreciate all your gifts, all your love for the show.
We got to get Commander Tahar.
Yeah, and Tahar. Also, Brenna, thank you for the good night. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you. Please go to my Venmo account. I can't stress it enough. I don't stress it at all. I have a Venmo account link on my main page here. Please donate $5 or $10 if you can. Tahar, I can say Tahar. So thank you, Dee, for that. How many more of these things? How many more do I have here? I have to. I only
You
have
need
three.
7 more, Commander. You better
I
sing a
need.
song.
I'll tell you what. If I get 7 more hats, I will sing a space song for everybody. But I need to get
Oh
7
man,
hats.
we're gonna bust
To,
out one
to
of the
re-
old tunes.
As a matter of fact, I might sing a song, but I have to get 7 more hats.
Oh, look at that. You guys gonna have Commander doing the Tahar all night long. You better give your wife some of that Tahar, Commander.
I'm not getting
Yes,
any Tahars
Mike, I
here.
have a podcast.
I mean, I have no hats. How many more hats do I need?
You mean 1, 2? Hold on, I'm losing track. I'm losing track. Where did it go? You got 3 more. 3 more. We get to hear a song from Commander. And if you haven't heard a song from Commander, it's worth 3 hats.
It is. It is worth 3 hats. So I'm going to be silent and I'll have 3 more hats.
Commander.
I'm waiting.
ArielRa, Elton John.
Could be. Tahar Bonnie. 2 more hats to go. 2 more on the Tahar hats. Kit Kat. Tahar. Brenna Tahar.
There you go. It's time for a song.
Okay. I'm going to sing a song. Here we go. As we journey through the stars at night, going in flight, not knowing where we are. As we travel through the universe, sing a verse of space where we are. Someday soon we'll meet our space family. When we do, we'll celebrate together. As we journey in space beyond time, we all know what love can be. As you find your way through this earth, going through shiny seas in space, visiting planets and other races, you will find other places. But if you travel up into the stars, you'll see the brightness of radiant light and love beyond this world. Beyond this world, you'll travel far. Into space, it won't seem hard. Once you travel with a spacesuit on, you'll go from place to place and be gone. You'll come back to Earth with all you know, and you'll share the peace and love. Going into space is soon to be. Be ready, brothers and sisters. Be ready for the celebration of humanity. That's my song.
Yay! Yay! Thank you,
That's
Commander.
my song, everybody.
We all needed that little bit of good Commander love tonight. We
That's
get
my
a
song. Rachel,
very
thank
white
you.
Commander love.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. James, thank you for coming up here and sharing the story about that large vessel in the ocean.
Yeah, man. If I get more info, I'll definitely.
Definitely let us know. And if there's a link, is there a link or something people can go to?
It was, you know what? It was on a Joe Rogan podcast. One of the guys,
Joe Rogan,
that he interviewed, but it was just like a 10-15 minute segment within a 4-hour interview. So I'll see if I could find the clip again.
All right, sounds good. Hey, James, thanks for being on, man. I appreciate the updates
Commander.
on that.
Have a good night, everybody.
Everyone have a good night, and we'll catch you all tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning I might be on, but we'll catch you tomorrow night at 11. Stay tuned for more programming. Have a great night, and remember, contact is coming soon. Meditate, get connected, tune in, and be ready. Take care, everybody.
Good night, everybody.